So President Trump's legal team concluded opening arguments in the Senate trial yesterday, where they continued to stress that the president did not commit an impeachable offense.
Lead Trump attorney Jay Sekulow also addressed reports of new allegations from former National Security Advisor John Bolton's upcoming book.
For more on the president's legal strategy, let's bring in Terry Sullivan. He's a CBS News contributor and Republican strategist. Okay, Terry, House managers presented an extensive argument as to why they believe President Trump should be removed from office. How did the president's legal team counter that?
Well, look, they were delivering talking points to the American public. The outcome of the impeachment is pretty well baked. There's not going to be a two-thirds majority that's going to remove President Trump from office. So they were delivering a series of talking points to the American public, and some of those arguments were different from other ones, and it was all focused on delivering that message in sound bites to the American public.
You know, Terry, a lot of people have told me that one of the things that they found really powerful at the end of the president's legal defense yesterday was a series of sound bites showing members of Congress who were there during President Clinton's impeachment, like Zoe Lofgren, like Jerry Nadler, arguing essentially the very same thing that Republicans are arguing today. And that seemed to really sort of, we don't have cameras trained on the senators, but that seemed to sort of galvanize both the Republicans and Democrats there, because it was just sort of easy to point out how political the process was then and perhaps now.
Well, that's what this is. This is a political process in nature. And it's, anybody who's shocked that politicians are political and their viewpoints change based on on which party is in the hot seat, shouldn't be surprised. At the end of the day, this is going to be a completely political vote and not a legal vote. And so that's on both sides of the aisle is that way. But it was a compelling case to show that, look, both sides are being hypocritical on this.
So what does the president's legal team say qualifies as an impeachable offense?
Well, look, I don't know what they say qualifies as an impeachable offense, but I know they're saying that this does not qualify. We've heard different arguments from different members of the legal team about what is technically impeachable, but I don't know that there's even consistency among those different those different attorneys. But what we know is that they all agree that this is not, in fact, an impeachable offense. And that's it. I think at the end of the day, most of these senators believe that Donald Trump did exactly what he's accused of doing. For the most part, Donald Trump publicly has said that he did what he's accused of doing. The real question is that impeachable or not?
So let me play an interview that one of the president's lawyers, Alan Dershowitz, gave to CNN back in 1998, where he argued if you have somebody who's completely corrupts the office of the president and who abuses trust and who poses great danger to our liberty, you don't need a technical crime. That's what he argued to CNN back in 1998. So I know that you said the politicians are political and that you also said that politicians are known to be hypocritical, but this is a lawyer, one who, by all accounts, is esteemed. And I wonder, when you see that in 1998 and then you see a complete reversal from an attorney today, what does that tell you?
It tells me that attorneys are the only people in America that are more hypocritical than politicians. I mean, look, at the end of the day, he's an attorney representing a client. They say what they need to say to get their client off. That's what attorneys do. That's what they're paid to do. And that's what he's doing in this situation here.
And part of the president's legal team is basically to accuse the Democrats of trying to undo the results of the last election, that they just don't like him. They still have sour grapes. It's something we've heard from the president almost for the last 2 years. Does this argument have any legal weight, though? I mean, is this a legal argument? They just don't like me and they want to get me out?
Well, of course not. But again, this isn't much of a legal process. This is a process in political persuasion. That's what this really is. And it's a very compelling, maybe the most compelling legal argument, which is, look, whether you agree with what he did or didn't do, or you think it's impeachable or not impeachable, American public has the ability to vote in 9 months. And that's a compelling argument, I think, for most Americans, be it legal or not.
Why do you suppose the president's legal team didn't use up all the time that they could have?
it's kind of a mic drop. I mean, they felt they didn't need to. And again, they also, look, this is not like a trial in the sense that they don't have feedback from the jurors as they're going. Time is not on their side. They need to end this as quickly as possible. The longer this drags on, the worse it is for the president's team. And they know that, and they're starting, there's more every day, a new breaking news on some leak comes out that's not helpful for their case. So they need to put a bullet in this and finish it off. And they didn't want to drag on for a couple more days for a couple more New York Times stories to break.
All right, Terry Sullivan, always great to have you, my friend. Thank you.
Great.